Hello, this is Gautami. Today we'll see how to create a simple web service and how to invoke it from Postman. I'll quickly show you how to create a web service from my Boomi account and deploy it and how to test it in the Postman. So, to create a web service or a listener process, you'll be using the web services server connector as your start shape, where the action is listen, which will be listening for an external events or for the processor or connection, which will invoke or initiate your integration processes. And the connection component is need not to be configured because it will be managed by your Atom web server. And when coming to the operation, that is something that needs to be configured and where you'll be giving all your object details or the response or request output everything or here. So I have already given an object as an employee. So this object is something that needs to be a meaningful one based upon your requirements, because it will be an endpoint or the resource path for your connection. So make sure you'll be giving it a proper object name here. And I have kept the expected input type and the response output type to none, because I'm not passing I'll not be passing any request for my web service call, or I'll be not receiving or expecting any output, and I'm not configuring any profile here as well. So that's the reason I've just set to none. But if you're having any particular profile structure that needs to be passed, like the XML, JSON, or if it is multi-part format also, it can be configured over here, and the same applies to the response output as well. I'll save my web services server operation, and now I'll just simply add a stop ship here. This is how we create a listener process or a web service in Boomi. So here you can also add some other connectors, or you can implement callback mechanism, or you can add some more shapes based upon your business requirements. Thus, it will create a web service process in the Boomi. So now I'll deploy it. We cannot test a web service in the test mode, so I'll be deploying it in order to test it in the Postman. First create a package component, and I'll deploy my package now. So process have been deployed. Now the next part would be invoking or calling your web service. So for that you need to have a base URL and also the end path or the resource path. So the base URL can be picked from your Atom management page under shared web server. So here you could see in the general tab, under the base URL basic settings, you will get your URL here. This will be my base URL. So I'll pick this URL, and the endpoint or the resource path will be picked from our web services server operation. So I'll take it from my simple URL path. So this is my URL that needs to be used in the Postman in order to call this process. So I'll give this process URL in the Postman. Now we'll be testing our process, and the authorization will be a basic auth. I have already used my web service earlier, so this username and password have been saved, but I'll show you how to get it from the Atom management page in the platform. So again, you'll be going to the Atom management page under shared web server, and a user management users. You can add multiple users, and you can also apply filter for your specific processes or APIs that will allow to use this users also. And my username would be something here under the username field. And I have already generated the token, so I'll use show token and I'll pick my token from here. And if it is the first time you are generating your token, make sure that it is saved, so that it will get reflected. Else you'll face some authorization issues. So I have already created, so I'm just copying my token here and giving it here. And the username is the one which you are saying beside your username field. So all the configurations have done. We have given URL, connection URL. We have our username, password from the atom management page under shared web server. So that have already been picked and configured here. And my body would be none. I'm not passing any request here. So I'll just run my web service. You could see our status with 200 token over here. That means we have made a successful call to the process, or successful call to the web service. And if it, we can also view the same from the process reporting page, because this will create an execution under your process reporting page. So if it is a success, it will be a success. If it haven't been invoked, then there you will not see any execution here. So you could see a simple web service process call that have happened, and the one that is displaying over here. So that means we have successfully called our web service, and it is a success one. So this is how you'll create a web service and how you'll test it from your postman. Thank you.